Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Spooky, and we're going to be doing our Q&A for our 2-year special for being on YouTube. It's so awesome, guys. Thank you so much for 2 amazing years. Well, it's been over 2 years now, but 2.5 amazing years on YouTube. All the support and everything is just wonderful, so thank you guys so much. I'm going to be answering a few questions that I received on the Q&A video, and while I do that, you guys get to watch Princess Robot Bubblegum drive through GTA and fuck shit up and just do random stuff, because I figured I'd give you something different, because I do play a bunch of different games, guys. I don't just play what I upload. I do play a bunch of different things, and this was just me goofing off, acting a fool, just having fun, so hopefully you enjoy the footage. Anyway, let's get into this. The first question comes from Jay Just Games. Welcome, Jay. You're awesome. You're such an awesome supporter on the channel. I love that you've been so involved. It's been great to get to know you and everything, so thank you so much for your question. He said, "Hey Spook, what's one of your favorite movies, and what's your dream job?" The first question, okay, let me go and say this. I'm sick, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to, sound like an old man, so I'm sorry if I do. Okay, so he asks, what is my favorite movie, or what's one of my favorite movies? My favorite type of movies are horror movies, and I made a video, showing you my top 10 favorite horror movies. So I'm not going to name a horror movie that I like, because I already did that. So one of my favorite movies that's not a horror movie will probably have to be The Fifth Element, with Gary Oldman, Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, from 1991, or it was early 90s. That is one of my favorite movies. I don't know why. It's always been just one of those movies that just gave me a good feeling to watch. I watched it. I can't even tell you how many times I've watched that movie. But I love that movie. It's awesome. So that's probably one of my favorite movies that's not a horror movie. Hopefully that answered that question. I have a lot of movies. I have so many movies I can't even narrow it down. I forget what I watch. I watch so many movies, so hopefully that answers your question. The second question he asks is, what is my dream job? Now, I have this deep love for gaming, and as of now, what I'm trying to pursue is something in game design. I'm also a writer, so maybe something to do with writing for games, or, just something I want to learn about games. I have this, want to learn about games as much as I can. But what I used to want to do, and what I would actually, this is still my #1 dream job right here. This beats everything. When I was younger, I wanted to be an archaeologist. I wanted to travel the world, and I wanted to dig up ancient history and learn about ancient cultures, and I was set on doing this. My family would tell me how they would laugh at me and be like, haha, it's not a real job, can't make money at that, you can't do that for a living, blah, 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 blah. And I was still like, okay, I'm doing this. Nope. No matter what, this is what I'm doing in my life, this is what I want to do. So, it turns out that's not something that you can really rely on for a job as far as income. It's one of those things where, you either, when you have work, you have it, but when you don't, you don't, and you can't make money. So unless you get you work for a museum, or you partner up with somebody, I'm not exactly sure the details of it, but it's one of those things when you have digs and you have stuff to go to, you get paid, but when you don't, you don't. So it's not, and plus you have to travel the world, which I want to do, but I made the choice to settle down at a very young age, at 18 when I graduated. So we don't travel. We want to, but as far as that being a career, that would take me from home and my husband and my gaming, my community, and everything. So this is something I want to pursue as a hobby. I still want to go to digs and participate in learning about ancient culture, because this is something I'm very passionate about. Learning about ancient culture, and right now I work in the psychology field. So that's also something that I'm really interested in, is the way the mind works, and that kind of applies to my interest in ancient culture as far as how we've evolved, as the human race, how we've evolved. And I feel like you learn that. You learn those bits and pieces that you can put together from things you find, even little bits and pieces of pottery that you find, with the designs. You learn about the designs from the era, and there's so much out there that I'm fascinated in. So that would be my dream job, Jay, is to be an archaeologist and travel the world. So hopefully that answers your question. But right now, I'm pursuing something in game design because this is equally something I'm as passionate about, and something that's a lot more realistic for me to achieve instead of becoming Indiana Jones and, you know, finding ancient civilizations. So thank you so much for your question. The next one comes from Tenet127 Gaming. He asks me, how did I get involved in Dark Souls? I will say this, that in the previous Q&A, I answered this question, as well as a couple of other questions in this list. But I will go ahead and answer it again because he may not have watched the last Q&A, or, you know, he may not have been a part of the channel back then, so I do want to answer it. So, but it's going to be a lot more brief than my last one, because my last one, I think I went on for like 15 minutes on this topic. But the very first time that I played Dark Souls, my husband had bought it from GameStop, and we played it, or he played it because we only had one system at the time, and I had the game guide, and I was like walking him through the game, you know, because we didn't have internet back then. So I was walking him through the game, and, you know, page by page, telling him the bosses, telling him the loot and the bonfires and NPCs and everything. And I fell in love with the game. Like, I wasn't even playing it. I was just reading the guide, and I fell in love with this game. So when the time came and I got my own PS3, it was just on. I mean, I was just hardcore into this game, like exploring every little, you know, corner and crevice, and just reading every description, soaking it up like a freaking sponge. It was just amazing. I fell in love with it, you know, and I played Dark Souls 1, and learning the mechanics of that game is like learning another language. It's so, there's so much to it. You know, I remember, like, now my play style, the way I play, I'm extremely, like, roll, dodge, you know, light, you know, I don't like to be tanky or heavy or way down. I'm like the agile kind of character, and when I played Dark Souls 1, I was super tank, like, super tank. Like, I remember I think I wore the Black Knight armor, or the Black Iron set, I think is what I did, and I used the Black Knight halberd. That was one of my favorite weapons. And I was just a tank. I didn't roll really a whole lot. I just blocked, I just shield, and, like, cowered, you know. But at the same time, I was learning this whole new world of gaming. So when I first became interested in Dark Souls was Dark Souls 1. And then after I beat Dark Souls 1, I went back to Demon Souls. I figured out about Demon Souls. Now, this was a completely different world. Oh my god, Demon Souls. I will love Demon Souls more than any other Souls game, simply for the fact that that was where this all began. That was where it all began. And I still hate to this day that we can't get a remastered of that, because I would love that. I've been waiting on that for so long. But, you know, Demon Souls was made by Atlas, and they had the whole thing with Sony, so I doubt we'll ever see a remaster, unfortunately. So I just keep breaking my heart. But anyway, so I fell in love with Demon Souls, and I was even more in depth with that. But by this time, I was a lot better at the game. I understood the mechanics a little bit more. It was more choppy. It wasn't as fluid, but it still was the same basic concept. So I was continuing to learn and grow and become better at the game. And I kid you not, when I first played Demon Souls, I died. The first level, Boletarian Palace, I died in this level like over 100 times before I got to the boss. I mean, but it was the kind of, like, I would die, I'd come back, it was fascinating to me because they had this way of, like, punishing you and torturing you and making you love it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's very cruel, but it's satisfying. You know, like, they're teaching you to overcome your obstacles. They're making things so extremely tough and forcing you to overcome them. And then you get that feeling of relief, like, not relief, like you've achieved something great. So, you know, you learn how to make the environment work to your advantage. You know, like in the very first level, I have it memorized. I can tell you how many enemies are around the corner. I can tell you, where they're going to move. I can tell you how far you can be away before they aggro on you. I can tell you so much about that game, especially that first level, because I did it so many times. But, lots of anger and aggression, but it was one of those things where, like, I would use that to learn and grow and become a better player and become stronger, and, you know, it was incredible. So hopefully this answers your question. I know I kind of went more in depth than I intended to, But I have this really deep admiration for the Souls games, and it's one of those, this is my favorite game. This is my favorite series. It will always be my favorite series. I love it so much. So hopefully this answers your question. I mean, it was a growing process. When I first started, I was very bad at the game. And I think most everybody is until they punish you enough and make you learn and make you, better at the game and stronger at the game. And I'll admit this, man, I didn't know how to successfully parry until Dark Souls 2. And that's embarrassing to say. But practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. Now, I will say this, I didn't have internet when we got Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls. So I didn't have a way to PvP. And I honestly didn't even know parrying was a thing. I didn't, because I didn't have internet and I didn't understand, what PvP was or that it existed or anything. So I didn't learn how to parry until Dark Souls 2 on the PS3, not Scholar. But that was one of those things where I got internet and I would I would force myself to learn these new mechanics because I wanted to be the best I could at the game. Because I loved it so much. So hopefully this answers your question. Like I said, I kind of went off the rail here, but hopefully it answered it for you. Thank you so much for your question. The next question comes from Twin Sylar. Thank you so much for your question, Sylar, and thanks for stopping by. He asks, where am I from and have I always lived there? I have always lived within about an hour and a half of where I was born. I live in North Georgia, the mountainous area. So it's really nice. It's a lot more peaceful than the hustle and bustle of the big city. So it's really nice. Like I said, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. So it's really nice. Hopefully this answered your question. The next one comes from Flying Shadow. Welcome, Flying Shadow. Thank you so much for your comment. He asks, what made me want to start making videos? Now, I haven't answered this question before, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, when I want to say I was 19 years old, and I was big into watching YouTube. I mean, I loved watching YouTube. And I always, admired these people, these content creators, for their great work that, that they put out for people to see and to share with the world. And I never, ever once thought that I could do that. I could be one of those people, to share my gameplay and my experiences with people. I never thought that would even be an option. But my husband, he was even more into watching YouTube than I was. He would watch it a lot more than I would. And it was his idea. He was because I never thought I could, this was something I've always wanted, but never thought I could do. I never thought that this would even be possible. So he was you know what you should do? You should start a YouTube channel. And I guess he meant it as a joke, or he was just playing around with me. I mean, he obviously would want me to, but I guess he didn't think I would take it seriously. He's you should start a YouTube channel. And I was you know what? Let's do it. I was just yeah, let's do it. How do we do this? And I remember I bought this, we were both working and, money was tight, as it usually is, especially when you graduate and move in together and get married and, money's really tight. So I was really on a budget. So I bought a Roxio game capture for $60. And I'm just going to tell you this now. Do not waste your money. If you're on PS3, if you're thinking about getting a game capture, do not get this equipment. It is a piece of shit. I'll just say that. Aside from it looking really, really shitty, as far as the quality of it goes, frame rate's awful, but this will give your computer a lot of issues. It's really super... it's not hard to understand, but it'll freeze, it'll crash, the software is bugged, it's really bad, so please do not, I would never, ever, ever buy another Roxio again. And I'm telling you, it's worth saving up the money, saving up another $100 and getting an Elgato, or, just a better capture card. It's so much better than the Roxio, so do not, I just can't stress it enough. But... so I started with the Roxio game capture, knowing nothing about game captures. I didn't have any YouTube friends. I didn't know anybody that was a YouTuber at all. So I was going just purely on my own knowledge, which wasn't much at this time about YouTube. So I bought the game capture, and I was using my chat headset for my PS3. and it worked for a little bit. It did its job, but it was really low, and I didn't realize how bad my audio quality was back then. So I guess about 3 or 4, maybe 5 months after I started my YouTube channel, I think I had like 15 subscribers. I mean, it was a very slow process, I'll tell you this much. Very, very slow when I started. But there's just so many people out there. It's hard to get out there, to be seen. It's not that necessarily people don't like you. It's just the fact that they don't know you're there. So I encourage you, if you're a struggling YouTuber like I am, just starting out, or, how you have a small following, don't give up. Just keep doing it. Keep at it. You'll get known. You'll eventually be seen and grow your community. So don't ever give up on that. Because if I had given up, I would not be where I am now. Because I went through some hell in my life. I went through a lot of tough stuff between, now and 2 years ago. I went through some hell. I went through 2 moves. I mean, a lot of shit happened. And this was something I was really passionate about, so I kept at it and kept going, even though I would lose subscribers, and it was very, very disappointing, and it would make me feel awful. But I would think, oh, people don't like me, things, but really, things happen. People leave for their own reasons, but you'll get new people. That's the beauty of it, I mean, I remember last year, when I first did my face reveal, for the first time on my channel ever, I lost a lot of people. I mean, I lost like almost 200 people. And, that felt really bad, and that was really awful for my self-confidence, because I have issues with my self-esteem anyway, as do a lot of people, especially when it comes to coming out on camera for the first time. So it was an iffy move for me, on my part, because I wasn't sure how people would react, but I was like, you know what? I care about this, and I want to be myself. I wanted to be honest with you guys and be comfortable, really, And, but when I came out, I lost so many subscribers. I felt shitty. I stopped uploading for a little while. It was very bad. But then I had so many amazing people that would comment saying, they're not worth it. If they're going to leave because they don't like the way you look, then you don't want them there anyway. And I was like, you know what? You're right. You're so right. And my husband was telling me the same thing. My sister-in-law was telling me the same thing. And they're like, you know what? They don't deserve to be part of your community if they're just going to be like that. So I really thought about that, and I was like, you know what, you're right, and I'll get people back. I'll get the right kind of people that want to stay for my content or for me, and have a relationship with the community, and it really made me feel better. So I really went off the topic there, sorry Shadow, but I've always I've always wanted to make videos, and this has been something I've wanted to do for a long time, and just didn't know that it was possible. So I remember one of my very first videos, before I even got my game capture, I had like an old iPhone 3 or 4, and I had it propped up on, you're gonna laugh at me, I had it propped up in a safety pin, a clothespin. I had it clipped in a clothespin and had it attached to a milk carton. I'm not even kidding you. Attached to a milk carton, recording my TV. This is my very first video, which I don't even have on YouTube anymore. But yeah, that was my very first video, was attached to a frickin' milk carton, recording my TV. So, you gotta start somewhere. If you start in a milk carton, or if you have the money to buy a really expensive capture card, it really just shows you that how much I really care about you guys, and how much I really, really, really love our community and the people that have stuck with me and stuck, with this channel through thick and thin. It really means so much to me. I started in a milk carton, guys. I started in a milk carton, and look where we are now. We almost have 2,000 subscribers. I can't even begin to thank you guys for all your support. It really means the world to me, that you've stuck here with me. And I've made so many great friends. I really have. All of you guys are just amazing, and I've met some really cool people. So this has been a great thing for me, and a really good experience with my channel. So thank you guys so much for everything, and for continuing to support me and be there for me, and be there for the channel, and for others. And if you have a channel of your own, don't be discouraged. You know, if you have 10 subscribers or 100 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers, just keep going, keep at it, because, you know, be you. Don't ever, you know, make videos because somebody else is making them. Don't try to be anybody else. Just be yourself. You know, because that's, in the long run, that's what people are going to be after anyway. It's just you. Your genuine, honest personality. And I figured that out the hard way. Because I was trying to put out shit like everybody else. And I didn't. But I was thinking that I had to get noticed. You know, because I wanted a following so bad. Because I created this channel from, you know, the root up. And I wasn't seeing any growth. I wasn't seeing people there. I was desperate for people. You know, but you are when you first start out. But if you just make what is true to you, make videos, content that you would want to watch, and just be real, you know, don't be fake, don't pretend to be somebody you're not for views. Please don't. Just stay true to yourself, and just make stuff that you enjoy. That's the best thing I can tell you as far as advice goes from one YouTuber to another. So, anyway, Shadow, hopefully this was adequate for your question. Thank you so much for your question. The last one we have is from Mr. Gummy Panda. Thank you for your question. He asks, are you planning on trying out VR anytime soon? Or am I planning on buying Final Fantasy 15 or trying out fighting games? Okay, so this is something you guys probably don't know about me. I have vertigo, which happened for the first time about 2 years ago. I was actually in bed asleep and rolled over, and it triggered. As simple as that. And scariest experience of my entire life. I thought I was going blind. I couldn't see. My eyes were like, I was going in circles and I couldn't stop, and it was terrifying. As far as I knew, I was going blind. I couldn't see. I couldn't control my eyes. It was a very scary experience. Vertigo, I don't have the definition up, but vertigo is where particles line like your inner ear, and they cause you to become disoriented. They'll make you like go dizzy, like start spinning, and it doesn't happen all the time. Like, I haven't had a spell. They call them spells because it lasts, you know, anywhere from a couple minutes to an hour to, I've had one last for like almost 2 weeks. I was out of work, I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything. But I haven't had a spell, thankfully, in over a year. It's been over a year since I've had a spell. So I have to be really careful with moving my head. Like, I mean, I can move my head and be normal and walk around and be a normal person, but I can't, like, headbang, which fucking sucks because I'm a headbanger at concerts. I can't headbang. I can't flip my head upside down. I can't ride roller coasters. I can't, you know, I have to be easy. I can't, like, just sling my head back and forth because it's very, very easy to trigger as far as moving my head. So I, unfortunately and very, very sadly, cannot play VR because this would be a very easy trigger for my vertigo. And that's a very sad, very, very sad topic because this is next generation gaming and I can no longer participate in it thanks to my vertigo. So I will, you know, touch on the topics, and who knows, I might be able to play some VR, you know, in the future as long as I'm careful. I don't really know, but as of right now, I don't plan on playing VR because I don't want to endanger myself. So hopefully this answers your question. I'm sorry, but now you guys know that about me, that I have vertigo. As far as Final Fantasy 15, I don't have plans on buying it. My husband really wants to play it, so I may be touching on it as well. I do want to play it, but I don't have plans on buying it right now. He asked if I have plans on playing fighting games. I'm not a fighting game person. When I was younger, I loved Mortal Kombat. That was the shit. I loved Mortal Kombat. I had it on PS2. And it was really, really awesome. But for some reason, I'm just not into fighting games now. Like, that's not my thing. I've tried it a bunch. And it's just not something I enjoy. I really like watching people do it because they're good at it. And I just don't. That's not something I enjoy. So I'm not a fighting game person. Sorry if you are and if you were looking for content like that. But I'm not a fighting game person. So sorry about that. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up our Q&A. It went on a pretty lengthy one. Sorry about that. But I tried to answer everything in depth, you know, because I really appreciate you guys asking me questions. It shows me that you really care and that you want to know more about me. And this is a way that I feel like we can connect and we can really learn a little bit about each other and, you know, grow our relationship, you know, from content creator to viewer, and we have this lasting relationship for the community. So I really appreciate everybody that, you know, took the time to comment. Thank you guys so much. Jay, Tenic, Twin Siler, Flying Shadow, Mr. Gummy Panda, thank you so much for your submissions. Thank you so much, everybody out there that watches my channel. You guys are amazing and incredible, and I wouldn't trade you for the world. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Leave me a like if you did. If you have any you know, thoughts of games that you want to see me try, or any other questions that you want me to answer, please feel free to comment below. I love to interact with you guys in the comments. I really do. And I know not a lot of people take the time to comment, or you may be on, you know, the PS4 or, you know, something where you can't comment. But I love comments. I love talking to you guys and getting to know you, and because I really value my community. And I try to answer every comment, you know, as soon as I can, because you guys are really important to me, and this channel is really important to me. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Enough sappy shit. Sorry. But thank you guys so much again, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you in my next video.